Good morning all, another sunny day in paradise. Welcome back to Salford. We're here in an area called Worsley, and I drove past, and there's a church here with what appears to be a funeral. Now, I've driven past many funerals, but this funeral has quite a large police presence, and I notice many of the attendees are black. And so I am just wondering, are they that worried about gang violence that they have to put Greater Manchester police officers here at a funeral? Okay, viewers, I've asked a couple of people who very helpfully told me that it's the funeral for a respected footballer called Joe Thompson, who played for Manchester United and a bunch of other teams, and he was a young fella, very young, born in 1989. And the poor young chap developed cancer and passed away. So I mean no disrespect for my comments earlier, but it's a very diverse funeral crowd attendance. And I'm so addicted to news and bad news and urban news and so forth that when I see police at a funeral with a very diverse crowd, my brain gets conspiratorial. And so did yours, let's be honest. The media here, and the coffin's just been taken inside. And rest in peace, Joe Thompson. Well, now, I hope you all enjoyed Paul Joseph Watson's video from yesterday titled "Manchester is a Shithole" as much as I did. It's great for two reasons. It's great because Paul Joseph Watson has a skill, a knack, to just say it how it is. And the second reason is because he featured a lot of my clips. And when I saw the thumbnail, I was like, this is going to be good. I was like, is that Scary Man? Is that Elbow Man? Is that Crutchy? Is that Jody, the crackhead leader? And the answer is yes. So good video, Paul. Thank you. So we're back at Manchester Airport because 3 days ago, they suffered a total power cut for many hours. All flights delayed, all flights diverted. And they went on for many hours, and it reminded me of many big power cuts we've had recently, such as France, Spain, Italy, whole nations cut down. Now, Manchester is Britain's second airport, or third. I don't know if Gatwick beats Manchester, but we're certainly behind London anyway. But Manchester is the, well, I guess, the unofficial capital of England. For now, you've seen Paul Joseph Watson's video. It's not so much English, but it's still a bit more English than London. Anyway, let's go and have a look. Terminal 1. Terminal decline, more like. Well, I think Leanne's had a tough time in Benidorm. I saw her sit here. She's downing that bottle of Jack Daniels, half bottle, reading her Marian Keys, my favourite mistake, a little holiday romance. Then a taxi arrived and off she went, leaving behind the detritus of Leanne. Can't hide it any longer. I'm stranded at Manchester Airport. I didn't come here specifically because of the power cut. I came here to return a car and it all went wrong. Got back to the rental place here at Car Rental Village. Turns out, you know, when you're moving stuff in the car, you put down the back seats and you take off that boot, you know, the hatchback boot lid thing. Forgot to take it, had to go home, bring it back. Anyway, pain in the ass. Now the train's not for another 45 minutes. I'm stuck at the airport. Bumped into a fan. He's like, oh, have you just come back from holiday? I said, no, so much more boring than that. And then I started to explain to him and his eyes glazed over. He wasn't interested. So regarding migration, which is obviously a very hot subject right now because the country is slowly getting worse and worse and worse, or quickly getting worse and worse and worse, it's important to remember that many new arrivals to Great Britain come from countries which are not successful, don't have human rights, don't have a functioning economy, don't have functioning healthcare, or, to borrow a phrase from PJW, they're shitholes. And then they arrive in Britain and they're all delighted and ecstatic and full of glee and, you know, good humour. But if, you know, at home and with millions of them, they couldn't create a functioning society that the West would call a functioning society, and the pipe dream, the utopian dream, which is becoming a nightmare of lefties and commies, is that somehow magically when they go through what we call the Heathrow expansion, the Heathrow gauntlet, Manchester Airport gauntlet, they're going to turn into fully fledged, civilized members of the West. And it's all unraveling now. And you guys grab the popcorn, I'll keep making the videos, and together we'll film the slow turning around of the big oil tanker HMS Great Britain as she tries to steady her course to sunnier climes. Well, now, getting a train out of here. Not this one. Look at the insectology on that. Wow. Wow. Anyway, you like trains? Enjoy this shot. It says Trans-Pennine. It crosses the mountain range that doesn't know its own sex. What a day, guys. What a disaster. Hardly got you any content. So, we end on the crows going crazy. Crows are not happy. It's not bedtime yet. They're kicking off. I think it's a crow versus jackdaw war. War.